looking at the Yamaha stand, but up close. Let's see what we find. So this is the Yamaha MT-09. I think actually for a naked bike, I think the styling is fine. I think it's actually quite a good looking naked bike, because these are your DRLs. That's your headlight. Considering this is the modern take on the nakeds, I think Yamaha did pretty well. Monoblock calipers. They are R1 Superbike style, so that the pads are easy to remove and install. Matte finish on the paintwork, which is a bit of a bugger to keep clean. New wheels look pretty good. Liquid cooled. Yamaha's triple 3-cylinder, so pretty fast, plenty of torque. Just a fast naked bike. LED indicators, and that's your LCD. Fairly big LCD, which is really useful. Rainbow master cylinder, pretty good. Some nice details there. Nice. And a pretty comfortable seat, really. Quite a bit of padding in there. Switch gear. Yeah, actually feels pretty good, to be honest. Nice thing. MT-10 Super Naked. This is the SP version. So the SP, you get Öhlins front forks, which look amazing. Öhlins rear. Also upgraded brakes and a different colour scheme as well. So really good looking Super Naked from all angles. There's an aluminium frame, aluminium rear swing arm as well. Gold chain. Quick shifter is there. Nice little touches there. Tank. The LCD is not very big. It's kind of like...
Tiny that is, isn't it?
Isn't that weird? See, that's the main screen. But then you've got all this empty space there as well.
Quite bug-eyed, isn't it?
That's your front intake there. Very powerful, so 170 horsepower standard. Before a 4-axle brake they can remat. You also get this beautiful seat as well. LED rear lights, LED front lights, LED indicators, and electronic suspension. Quite a few bits of tech, so cruise control, different modes to choose from. Also this styling accent here. And you've got there Yamaha MT-09 SP version. So different colour scheme that stands out more colourful and more pretty to look at. You also get a very expensive Öhlin front forks and Öhlin rear shock. Also heard about this engine. Only about 117 horsepower, but remember this is just a standard naked bike. So this isn't about outright power and torque and handling. This is about having a really powerful naked bike for riding around it. And also you get a different colour on the rear swing arm, LED lights. And I think the front end is actually pretty good looking, to be honest. In the world of modern motorcycles, it's a pretty good looking front end. You see Yamaha are pretty tidy as well with the cabling. Everything looks quite tidy, got a big radiator up front. Nice bit of it. This is the R9 Superbike from Yamaha. It's very pretty, don't get me wrong. Beautiful aerodynamic panels here. Massive Brembos, lots of stopping power. Beautiful bodywork by Yamaha Racing. Nice engine casing. Nice rear swing arm. Yamaha Racing colours. Just to show you what it's like to sit on an R9 Superbike. You are in the race position. You are down here. And you've got cruise control, loads of different functions here, and KYB forks, which are high performance. And the idea is what Yamaha are going to do is they're going to retain the R1 Superbike, but you can only buy it for the track. So this is the road-going Superbike from Yamaha. Here's the kicker. So the R9 has 80 horsepower less than the R1 Superbike. 80 less. It also has less torque. The R1 Superbike, which is inline 4, makes more torque. And this is a part of the world changing, and I don't like it. You want superbikes with more horsepower, more torque, and even faster race handling, not less. This is a very worrying trend from Yamaha now, and let's hope other manufacturers don't follow. So Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus, so GT as in Grand Touring, but I will say that looks a little bit machine guns, Yamaha. Like you got the DRLs here, you got the dip beam here, and then you got this bunch of spotlights. It's all really close to keep together. It's like, it reminds me of a cartoon character. It's like this bulbous, great big. I don't get it. Anyways, electronic suspension, R1 Superbike style front calipers, CP3, Yamaha's triple engine, lovely cushion seat, and pink finish, fantastic, really good. This is what it's like to sit on. So think of this as touring, like really good touring, midway, cruise control, the ability to select different modes, like that, indicators, so you've got a lot of different options to choose from. Starter and all the switch gear feels pretty good, and TFT is a really nice size as well, and you feel like you're in a cockpit, so a lot of wind protection, a lot of wind deflection, so you can do massive miles on this, even go cross countries very comfortably. Yamaha XSR 900 GP, quite a mouthful, and think of it as a hark back to Yamaha race bike. That's what it is. You've got R1 style, R1 Superbike style calipers, so changing brake pads is pretty straightforward. Very bright and colourful, nice racing colours, LED lights. CP3 engine, so triple. this is about the past. They had a lot of box sections at the back because that was the engineering of the day. Nice swing arm. And this is all about the past as well. Pretty simple controls. Cruise control, different modes to choose from, fuel maps, indicators, and that's pretty much it. TFT display. It's nice. It is nice. Gold front forks. Yeah. It's different. This is the Yamaha R1 Superbike. And now what's changed is you can only buy them for the track. This is GYTR, and this is what I'm getting at. So you can't buy an R1 Superbike for the road anymore because the R9 is taking the R1's place. Yeah. Supersonic power and torque. Superbike wings here, and it is Exotica. Over 200 horsepower standard, lots and lots of torque, more torque than an R9 Superbike with the 333 engine. Massive Bambos. Have a look at that engine. R1. KYB, latest generation Superbike forks, and pretty much lightweight Superbike paneling. And wow, Yamaha, we want the R1 Superbike back on the road. This is the Yamaha R7 Super Sport. Quick shifter is standard. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous colours, gorgeous Super Sport panels. Is actually a twin four-stroke. In a race bike, you are in that race position. So just to show you what the cockpit is like. Yeah, you are down here. So after about an hour, hour and a half, your back, your arms, your legs, everything's going to really start hurting you. But that's just what happens when you ride a race bike. And controls are pretty normal, really. Select mode, start button, beautiful forks, lovely little touches like that. This is a pretty good balance between giving decent MPG and yet still have it. It's still race bike, still quite fast, and makes a hell of an impression. Wonderful. Fuel cap's easy to get to. But the TFT is a little small. You notice that there's quite a border between the actual screen and this. Apart from that, this is the 2025 Yamaha XSR 900. Very lovely colour scheme. It looks actually really nice. Quite beautiful. So you got a nice smooth lacquer, gold wheels, gold forks. Nice tidy design here. Liquid cooled, full LEDs, headlights, indicators. Yamaha's triple, 117 horsepower, standard, and this is what it's like to sit on the XSR 900. So naked bike, no wind protection whatsoever. If you don't like buffeting, why would you buy a naked bike? It makes no sense at all. So don't be putting screens on this or anything like that. Very agile, quite a light naked bike. Cruise control, different modes to choose from, and the switch gear all feels quite nice. starter mode. And that feels nice. Paint feels really nice. And at least for the 2025 model, what's nice is that the colours here match, which is something that I did notice last year, where one panel actually had a slightly different colour shade than the other panel. So Yamaha have rectified that. Yamaha are quite proud of what they've made, so they put an exercise patch there. And it feels pretty comfortable, pretty good. And comfortable for... This is the Yamaha MT125. Good stepping stone into getting into motorcycles and your first bike. But here's my worry. £5,250. Now remember, this is a 125, so the moment you can get into a 650cc bike, a bigger bike, you're going to want to get rid of this as fast as you can. So it does seem like that's a really high price to pay for a 125. You're going to want to get out of as fast as you can. Modern LED lights for a 125, nice styling for a 125. New wheels, and this is what it's like to sit on one. Seat looks nice, considering this is again a 125. Controls are very basic, so you've got your main beam and your dip beam, your pass light. On a 125 you won't be overtaking anybody. Indicator and TFT. Jog cap, easy to get to. Starter, you've got a menu button. Clutch is incredibly light, which is really good. And paint finish is good. This is a matte lacquer and it's nice and smooth. And this engine will give you amazing fuel economy. Single cylinder, 125, fuel injected, computer controlled, liquid cooled. And this is pretty interesting, monoblock style calipers for a 125. Yeah, so Yamaha are doing their thing, and pretty interesting what they're up to. But yeah. Go Yamaha. Thanks for watching, and yeah.
Until I found a lighthouse in your heart, shining like a beacon of bright stars. I was alive, wandering far, until I found a lighthouse in your heart, guiding me out the door.
Super bike.